Good morning, y'all. I almost forgot about part two. But okay, here it goes. Let me finish this up real quick. Okay, so where did I leave off in part one? Or got cut off rather? I think okay, yeah, I kept telling y'all, so Freddy kept accusing me. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time, but every once in a while, like over a 3 year period, he just be like, yeah, my homeboy, or my friend, whichever one told me, you know what I'm saying, y'all did something, whatever. And I'm like, who is your homeboy? And at first, he would not say anything for probably about 2 years. Then the third year, he just kept saying, like, um, he worked at a store, you know what I'm saying? A rap. And I'm like, I've never been with anything other than a black man. I don't know what you're talking about. You're crazy. Your friend is crazy. But I ain't really too tough trying to argue about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is stupid. You're not giving me enough information. This is dumb. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know your friends. Um, I'm not even paying attention to this. So, okay, time goes by throughout that time. So finally, you know what I'm saying? I had to ask him. He was telling me he started describing him and stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, okay, wait a minute. Like, we used to flirt, but we never did anything. Like, I was like, I didn't know he was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad I didn't go there because he's crazy. I've never even talked on the phone with this dude. You know what I'm saying? We've never been anywhere together. We just, you know what I'm saying, flirt really strong, and it's getting more and more stronger over time. Um, And it's like it's getting to the point where, you know what I'm saying, like we're just talking more, and you can tell that I could tell I'm feeling him, and I could tell that he's feeling me more. So I'm like, but we never, like, what, he is out of his mind. But come to find out, no, he wasn't the one out of his, but he was out of his mind. When I finish telling y'all the rest of the story, you're gonna see he was out of his mind, but nowhere near. Ben was nowhere near as out of his mind as Freddy. So finally, like I said, he break it down, and I'm like, oh, okay, me and that dude never did nothing. Like, what is he talking about? And eventually, now, all this whole time, because this had been some years that had passed, I forgot all about, what I'm saying, my homegirl and all this stuff. I forgot about it because a lot had happened. So finally, I'm like, this, because y'all know I've been in a car accident. I'm like, well, in that case, why don't you ask him, like, what my body, because you know what I look like without my clothes on, from my head to my toe. You know what I'm saying? We've been dealing a long time. You know exactly what I look like from my head to my toe. Why don't you ask him, you know what I'm saying, what I look like naked? So evidently he asked him, but he didn't come back right away. He just kind of started acting different a little bit. And so when it comes up one day, he tells me, like, yeah, I spoke to him. The crazy thing is, I can't even remember this dude's name, like Ben's name. I cannot even remember. I never knew his Middle Eastern name, but the name he went by in America, I can't even remember it now because I hadn't seen him in God knows how long, 10 years or more. Like, I hadn't seen him over 10 years. It's been a very long time. I don't know what happened to him. But, so, he starts, um, telling me that, he talked to him, and he couldn't tell him what I look like without my clothes. And I'm like, yeah, of course, because I've never been with him. Like, you're a doofus for sitting and listening to somebody else. I'm like, which, what I'm saying, I understand this day and age, but this dude knew me. You know what I'm saying? He knows how I am. So it's like, you're out of your mind. And you really, really stressed me out for years about this. That was insane. So then it popped in my mind when he started telling me. I'm like, yeah, because I didn't deal with him. I'm like, like we flirted and stuff. I would go to the store, he would look out for me and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But I never. And then I was like, oh, matter of fact, because I put him on to my homegirl. You know what I'm saying? Because he had looked out for me so much, but I realized I wasn't going there or whatever. And then, oh yeah, because he kept saying like, yeah, my friend said that I mean like saying all this radical stuff about the experience and stuff. And I'm like, dude, me and you have been mingling for some years now. Like, does any of the things he said sound like me? And so, you know, it was crazy. But then I remember I was like, oh yeah, that's right, because I put him on to my homegirl so that he wouldn't be mad at me. Honestly and truthfully, oh my gosh. So that he wouldn't be mad at me. I think he still ended up being mad anyway. But I'm like, I had to do the switcheroo because he had looked out for me a lot and I didn't want him to feel like I was a user or anything. So I put him on to my homegirl. And evidently the experience didn't work out all of that great for them. They weren't meant to, you know what I'm saying, mingle. So excuse me. So finally that was dropped. That accusation, that argument, and y'all would not believe how ecstatic I was when that was sealed, because it was like I got tired of hearing it. I got so tired of hearing it. But y'all know this, that's it. I'm gonna just leave it at that. But that's the part two of the story, y'all. I'm sorry that it had to be broke down, but my phone is acting weird. Um, I hope everybody has a happy September, September 1st, and that's it. Love you guys. I'll talk with you later.